the usual ASMR for you. Welcome to another episode of my little podcast type of thing. I can't sleep, so I made tea. And that is exactly what happened. I couldn't sleep, so I made some tea and I'm going to just yap away. I've came unprepared for this video, okay? And all of the other videos, all of the two videos, all of the videos, literally two. But on the other videos, I have written down kind of like a storyline just so I don't get lost. But every time I've tried to write down what I want to talk about for this video, it just seems forced, it doesn't seem natural, and I've decided that I'm just going to come in here and talk. And I've actually tried to record this video a lot of times, but I've just been scared because it's a very deeply personal one, okay? And I'm afraid that if I say the wrong thing, or I don't know, if I just open myself up too much, people will use it against me some way in the future. I don't know. So I've just been really scared to record this video. But the time has come because I know now that talking is the best medicine for everything. It helps me because it just takes off a little bit of the weight off my shoulders. And it might help some of you guys that are struggling with this type of things being body image issues, dysphoria. And this episode is also going to mention eating disorders. Yay! It's not yay. Just, trigger warning. If you are easily triggered by eating disorders, eating problems, I recommend you to not watch this. I will not be giving away any details, like major details, because that's just wrong. This is not inspo. This is not information website. This is a recovery story, okay? So if you are trying to recover, you might feel a little bit inspired. I don't know, we will see. But just a heads up, trigger warning. Also, the tea of my choice is a lemon tea with honey because I have a really bad sore throat. So you just gotta keep it simple sometimes. To start off, I would just like to say that I am quite sure, unfortunately, that given the opportunity, almost everyone would like to change something about themselves, even if it's just a tiny little thing. If someone were given the opportunity to change it without paying money, without, just to be born with it, everyone will change something. And I think that's sad, that most people aren't happy with the way that they look. I, for example, would like to change my face, like the symmetry of my face, because I have TMJ, I don't know, I have jaw problems. So I have a very asymmetrical face. And that keeps me up at night, guys. I could not even look at a picture of myself that someone is taking of me without me noticing. I would cry. I would literally cry. And I would also like to kind of change my smile because people used to make fun of my smile. They used to say it was forced when I was 5. So, not great. That obviously gave me a lot of insecurities about my smile. I'm not even going to get into the internet and the problems that internet causes on self-esteem because I feel like everyone already knows that. But I just want to say it once to get it over with. Internet is harmful for these type of things. So, just it's checklist. I've already talked about it. We all know it. Moving on. The first time that I felt uncomfortable with my body, I was 8 years old, and what the fuck, I was a kid and I was already uncomfortable with my own body. And that's just the impact that society and harmful society expectations have on little kids. I was 8 years old. It wasn't even noticeable, but my thighs touched when I sat down, obviously, and I used to cry about it. I at the ripe age of 8, I used to cry about my thighs. That's concerning, to say the least. But other than that, I grew up without having a lot of problems with my body. I was quite okay. I just didn't think about it too much. And then I entered volleyball. I feel like a lot of my problems go back to the volleyball times. It was a really great time, but also kind of a dark one, but whatever. I put on some muscle, as one usually does when they're playing a sport every day. Then quarantine came around. And quarantine, that was the real start of all of my problems. It was normal for people to gain weight during quarantine. We were stuck for a year and a half doing absolutely nothing. To just top it all off, I had abruptly stopped making any type of exercises because, I couldn't play volleyball during quarantine. So I just stopped out of nowhere. And that obviously took a toll on my body. That combined with the fact that I literally did not move for months on end. I bought like LED lights. Obviously, everyone had them during quarantine. I used to spend my days with the shades down, LED lights on, and just vibes for days. I did not move. I didn't do anything basically. And my routines were all just kind of like, fucked up basically. So I was eating pasta with cheese at 4 a.m. and the batter of like a chocolate cake at 2 a.m. and that is okay, but it was starting to be too much because again, I wasn't doing any type of sports, any type of moving at all. So I obviously started to put on a little bit of weight, and I didn't even realize what was happening because I was just so used to seeing my own reflection. I didn't interact with anyone. There was no one else perceiving me up until a picnic. Now, this picnic has haunted me. It was the first time me and my friends hang out in like 4 months, and we did like a picnic again outside with the safety precautions. And one of my friends had like a professional camera, so she just kind of took photos, randomly. And when I got home and I looked at myself outside of the environment of my room, of my house, in a different environment that I had not been in a long time, I saw myself and I was like, who is this person? My cheeks were a bit chubby, and honestly, looking back, I was just cute, it was normal, but at the time, it felt like the worst thing ever to possibly happen to me. It just seemed like the end of the world back then, which is not, because gaining weight is super normal. Okay, I just want to put this out there. This is just my story and how I felt at the time, given that I later develop an eating disorder because of it. But now I've realized that gaining weight and losing weight, whatever it is, it's just like the most normal thing in the world. It's just you growing up, your body changing, nothing to it. Carrying on. The next few months after that picnic were a bit chaotic because I discovered Chloe Ting. I don't know how to say it, but Christ, that girl haunted me, and I think it was the cause of a lot of problems during quarantine, because I feel like a lot of people were obsessed with the Chloe Ting workouts and were just doing it every day, and were obsessed with this healthy mindset and all of that, and that developed a lot of eating disorders, because I know a lot of people that happened. That was kind of worrying for a bit, but then I just got back to volleyball and everything was okay for some months. Like, I just didn't think about it, and then I decided to quit volleyball because it was just ruining my mental health in all aspects. I just had the picture of that picnic engraved in my head, and I was like, okay, I stopped playing this sport again very abruptly, so I need to do something about it in order to not gain this weight back like it happened during quarantine. But then I fucking downloaded an app for counting calories and doing exercise and all of that. And that app just ruined everything for me. And I just do not recommend those apps for anyone. Like, anyone, do not do it. It's not worth it. It might be beneficial to some people if they have that self-control, but it can really quickly go south, and then it's really hard to get out, and it's just not worth it. And they are so damaging because it's all made up, it's not healthy anyway. But I didn't know better at the time. It quickly became an obsession and a need for control. It wasn't just about gaining or losing weight. Looking back now, I feel like my life was all over the place. Like, I had quit the sport I had been doing for 5 years. I had entered the new school. Like, there was so much uncertainty in my life, and the thought that I could control at least something, what I was eating, kind of like relieved me a little bit. And that was a very dark place for me, and I feel like I'm never going to fully get out of it because the information is already stuck in my head, and some days it's a bit harder than others. And for example, I still struggle a bit to eat like a late night snack. I just wanted to say that this literally happened yesterday. I had a full mental breakdown over some late night cereal. So, every day is a recovery day, okay? fighting. Not funny. But I just try to remember that it's normal, and if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat, and food is fuel, all of those things. It has been like 3 years, and I still struggle, and again, I feel like I'm going to struggle just a tiny bit for the rest of my life, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get out of this. Like, I'm really better, like I eat everything I want, and I do not even think about it at this point. I still make some tiny decisions that reflect the mindset that I was in the past during this time that I'm not quite happy with still, but it was a very dark time. I didn't have the motivation to do anything because I didn't have the energy, because I didn't eat. And this carried on for a while until one of my friends, my dear friend, came to me and it was like, girl, what's happening? Like, are you okay? Like, I can sense something is happening. And she talked to me about it. She shared her experience and she showed genuine concern about my problem. And to that I owe her so very much, because she like woke me up from the state I was in, because I was doing this in secret. No one knew what was happening, and it helped so much to know that I was not alone, that what was happening to me also happens to a million of other people, unfortunately. We just talked, but it was enough for me to kind of like, no, okay, I do not want this for my future. I want to live a good, healthy life. I have so much more to be worrying about other than what I'm going to eat. And that was the start of my recovery. The first step was deleting that fucking devil app. Like, it was hard. It took me like a month just to delete that app because I just didn't have the courage. I felt like the whole world was going to end if I didn't have that control. And but after deleting the app, everything became just a tiny little bit easier. I even talked to my parents about this, which was something that I never thought it was going to happen, because I just didn't thought that they would understand. But they were kind of, parents, as they usually are. They didn't fully grasp the situation, but they were just like, okay, let's send you to the psychologist, which was an absolute horror show because it was so unhelpful. She just straight up told me, but you are so skinny. You don't have to worry about that. Why do you worry about that? Girl, that's what I'm trying to understand here. You're supposed to help me. Like, what the fuck? That's not something you say to someone who is struggling with an eating disorder. That's like actually the worst thing you could say. So I got out of there and never went back. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to do this by myself. I just really set my mind to it, and I was like, okay, I just want to recover. This is not okay. This is not healthy. I want to live a full, good life. And I don't care which weight I put on or which weight I lose. It's just not on my head right now. And even if I didn't really believe it, when I first started thinking this, I slowly like started to accept that, and it became my reality in a way. And now I'm here, and I still have body image issues, again, as I think most people do, unfortunately. And I also do struggle with is body dysmorphia, and I used to have a lot of body dysmorphia. Some British just came out of there. It's probably because I'm watching Bridgerton right now, so I'm just British like that. I looked at myself and I didn't feel like a girl. I felt like, I don't know, something, but some days I just didn't feel like a girl, and that's okay, obviously. And I'm still trying to discover that a bit. Like, up until very recently, I had she, they pronouns on my Instagram, because again, some days I just woke up and I was like, what the fuck is this on the mirror? I do not like this. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still struggling with this part, actually. And I feel like now I feel more comfortable presenting a little bit more feminine. But that wasn't always the case. I still struggle a lot picking up outfits every day, because it needs to be a specific outfit for every day and every mood I'm feeling, because some days I just do not like to feel feminine at all, and my body just feels like it's not mine. It doesn't feel like it fits me, and another days I just feel like it completely fits me. So it's very weird. And again, I'm not sure where I'm going with this, because I don't know. I don't know. But I felt like it was important to mention the body dysmorphia part. I think that's it. That's the journey. I just want to finish this video with a little message. What is the message? I don't know, because I haven't thought about it yet. But I know it may be hard to accept that sometimes, to accept the way that you are and to accept the way that your body looks, because trust me, I really know how it feels to just not like what you see on the mirror and not feeling comfortable going out sometimes. There were a few days where I skipped college or school because I just didn't like the way that I looked in the morning, and I didn't want anyone else to see me like that. I don't know, do we just like reach an age eventually where everyone feels comfortable in their body? Like, okay, at 30, we're going to be okay with this. Like, I don't know. Is that something that happens? Or I'm just going to have to keep loving myself, I guess. Please just know that if you are feeling like this, you are not alone, and there are millions and millions of other people that feel just the way that you feel. So it's totally valid that you know, some days you might be a little bit uncomfortable going out, and that's okay. You don't have to force yourself into some clothes, or you don't have to force yourself into going someplace you don't want to go. You got this, okay? Please, you really got this. But you need to believe that you got this, because if you don't believe that you got this, you will not got this, okay? So believe in yourself. That's the first rule. And with this, I think I don't have anything else to say. I hope you are all well, and I love you so very much. And yeah, just believe in yourself that you got this, and you are beautiful in every single way. Words. That is actually the main message of this video. You know, nothing special. I kind of wrote this song when I was like 10. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and go to sleep. I'm starting to get delusional. Love you, and I'll see you all in the next week. Hopefully. I don't know if I'm going to be sick still. And yeah. Bye. Love you.